Good afternoon, Jason Shepard here with the Anchor Room. We're going to make a brief installation video for a third brake light tint piece for the 2009 through 2014 F150, as well as of course the 2010 through 2014 SVT RAPTOR. It's a fairly straightforward installation, but it will require a little heat from a heat gun or a blow dryer, which you can see in front of you. In addition to the blow dryer, we have application fluid, which is nothing more than soapy water. That's going to be used to give us the ability to position the decal in place. We then have regular water, which will then be used to wash away any excess soap so that the decal will stick in the proper spot. We have a microfiber towel, which we'll use to dab up any excess liquid. And last but not least, we have our yellow Superflex squeegee, which we're going to use to make sure we get all of that liquid out from behind the lens. All right, let's get started. All right, here we are in the bed of this SVT RAPTOR. Same thing, obviously, for the F150s. Since the third brake light is contoured or tapered to literally every four corners, it's impossible for us to make a piece that completely covers it. So what we've done is we wanted to at least cover the face and then wrap over just a slight bit on each of those four corners. So I've already started peeling this back. We did clean this previously. You want to spray the lens itself with the application fluid. Do the same thing with the tint itself, of course. Application fluid, again, is that soapy water that's going to give us the opportunity to reposition. We're going to put this in place, and as you can tell, we can go back and forth. As you can tell, it is definitely, without a doubt, too large on all four corners. So what's most important here is to make sure that you actually have the lens perfectly centered. Once you have the lens centered, it does exactly what we're looking for. You can at that point take your squeegee and start to move the liquid out from the center. So like I said, you want to start center out. I'm just going left and right. The squeegee in this case is actually big enough to do the entire surface. I'm going back and forth a few times to make sure that I have everything out. I actually didn't even need to use the water in this case because of our solution. And also, ironically, the top tapers right over, so no issues there. But I can guarantee you that once I try to do this side, we're going to end up with what we call fingers. Fingers are where the vinyl is trying to bunch together. And what helps here is, of course, heat from a heat gun or a blow dryer, because it helps us shrink the vinyl into place and do so without actually having fingers. So I've actually done the sides over here, the top and the bottom, and everything is falling flat. If you notice that it's not sticking right away, then you either have a solution that has too much soap in it, which you can obviously wash away with that water, and that's the whole reason why we have the water, to get it to stick. Alright, so now that we're at this scenario right here, or this position, the next thing that we're going to actually use is heat from a heat gun to, like I said, get rid of those fingers or buckled corners. I apologize if this is a little louder than it should be. It obviously will probably show up on the video, but here we go. This requires a little bit of heat, and then you kind of just press it against the surface, and then eventually she will stay in place. As you notice, I did spray down a little bit of water before we did this to get those corners to stick a little bit better by removing that soap. If you see the fingers sticking, just add a little bit more heat, and you can almost pretty much just push them out. All right, now I'm going to do this one on this side. Apply a little heat. And dividing fingers is usually the best thing to do. So you find the center point. I just created two fingers there, but by adding a little bit more heat, I got the top one to pretty much go away immediately, and the one on the side. In this case, sometimes you get that little buckling. Believe it or not, you can still peel that up carefully. It's a nice hot day here today, so it's almost like we don't need any heat from the heat gun. All right, we can continue this process, and I'll show you the end result here in a second.